This video is brought to you by Grandeur Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country.
Today you join me in Detroit, Michigan to test out Ford's new BlueCruise 1.5 system. This is debuting on the Mustang Mach-E for 2025, but we do expect to see this BlueCruise 1.5 making its way into other Ford products coming up very soon. And they've made some significant changes to the system, including automatic lane changes. Now, the vehicle that we're using for this demo is a 2025 Mustang Mach-E Premium all-wheel drive with a sport appearance package as well as a few other options like the big panoramic roof. And with that sport appearance package, you get a few more aggressive cues on the body. I still like the Rally the most. I think that that's the best looking version of the Mach-E, one that we've tested a few times out in Colorado, but the sport appearance package is not too bad. And the MSRP on this machine is right around $55,000. So I've now got the new BlueCruise 1.5 system engaged. We're going down the highway here in Michigan, and if I turn on my left turn signal, the car tells me it's preparing a lane change. And there we go, it's as simple as that. We're in the next lane over. What's cool is that this new BlueCruise 1.5 is also able to see a car moving slowly in front of you and decide to perform those lane changes on its own. And what I really like about this system is that it uses a camera to look at your eyes rather than you having to keep your hands on the steering wheel for the car to know that you're still there and that you're still engaged in what's going on. Because in my opinion, if you still have to have your hands on the steering wheel, you might as well be steering. That's kind of a personal point of preference. But I love the fact that this is looking at my eyes, so it knows that I'm looking ahead, I see what's going on, I'm engaged, and the car can drive itself, at least on this highway system with the correct conditions. There's a few different ways that you can get BlueCruise 1.5 on your car. You can buy it at the same time as when you buy the car itself, and it's a $2,495 option there. You can also get an annual subscription to it, and that's $495 a year. But if you want to go month to month, Ford gives you that option as well. $49 a month, and you can start or stop that subscription whenever you want. So if there are times of the year where you're on the highway more often and you're going to use it more often, then you can start up your subscription.
Enter the express lane.
Or you can cancel it if you know you're not going to be using it a whole lot. And right now, the car sees that there's a van going slowly in front of me, so BlueCruise moved me over a lane so that we can get past this van. It's a very cool system, and it works very naturally. So they have actually made some improvements to the hardware surrounding the ADAS system on the car to make this possible, which means that this won't be something you can retrofit to older BlueCruise systems. This is going to be on new models going forward, and if you're out there shopping for a brand new 2025 Mustang Mach-E, you'll have an option for this version, the 1.5 version of BlueCruise. It's also worth mentioning that other vehicles with BlueCruise should eventually see these updates as well, but it's debuting here on the Mach-E, which makes sense. This is a very tech-centric vehicle. And using these systems, if you've never experienced them before, it is genuinely very helpful. If you have a long highway trip, reduces the level of fatigue that you're going to experience going down the road. So I'm personally a big fan of them, especially when they use a camera system like what this here uses. Something else that I like about this system is if you do want to take over control, if you want to put your foot on the throttle, you want to take the steering wheel, make a pass on your own, and then go hands off once again, it won't cancel BlueCruise. It will continue to be active. So you can kind of work with the system to take momentary control, like I've decided to make this lane change on my own. Now I can go back to allowing BlueCruise to do its thing. So you can take over momentary control. Another pretty cool thing is that if BlueCruise sees a car coming up fast behind you in the left lane, it will move over to make way for that vehicle. So it's just another way that it drives a lot like a person would.
Since we're talking about SuperCruise, it's also worth mentioning one of the Ford system's main competitors, and that's GM's SuperCruise, a similar name and a similar level of capability, as well as a similar style of operation. However, GM's system does have one leg up, which is the fact that you can have SuperCruise active even when you're hooked up to a trailer behind you, and that is a pretty impressive level of capability. We've tested that system with a trailer hooked up, and it works pretty well. That being said, not a lot of people are going to buy their vehicle based solely off of how the driver assistance systems operate. So if you're in the market for a Ford vehicle and not really in the market for a GM vehicle, then this BlueCruise 1.5 system may just be an added bonus to the purchase that you're already going to make. However, if you are shopping and one of these systems is a big buying factor for you and you tow trailers and you want to be able to use this system while you're hooked up to a trailer, then GM SuperCruise does have that capability.
Now, if you are in the market for a Ford product, especially one as advanced as these Mach-E's, I highly recommend getting a Grainger warranty. These vehicles are very sophisticated, there's a lot going on with them, and if you ever need to make repairs, an extended warranty from Grainger is going to make that much more convenient and less expensive in the long run, especially because Grainger uses factory-trained technicians, they use OEM parts, so your vehicle is going to get fixed up like new, and you'll get great coverage, and you'll save money compared to other warranties. So check out the link in the description below for a Grainger warranty. So all in all, Ford has made BlueCruise not only more capable, but a lot more useful. It does cost a pretty penny, so it's going to be up to you if you want to decide to spend the money on the system. But if you like these kind of technologies, I'd say it's 100% worth getting because it's a well-designed system. And even if you haven't tried one of these systems before, it's worth giving it a test drive because you might not think that you want it. But I gotta tell you, when you're doing long highway stretches, this does end up being very convenient. I like driving as much as anyone. That's why I do this for a living. But that system can take some of that off of your plate when you're just doing a long highway stretch, and you're not really missing much if you hand over control to the car. So let me know what you all think in the comments below. If you're looking for a Ford product, this is going to be a welcome improvement over older versions of the system. I'm still a big fan of SuperCruise and even its ability to pull a trailer, but this makes a big difference for how well this system works. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. This is just a quick little bit of news on what's going on over here at Ford and here in Detroit. And we'll see you next time.